Hey Raghunath, tell everyone about our Patreon community.
Sure, Kastuba. The Wisdom of the Sages Patreon community is an incredible online yoga resource. If you like the type of yoga wisdom and culture we share on the show, then our Patreon community is a great next step. This is a listener-supported podcast, and any level of sponsorship will unlock a wide range of live and archived classes, talks, and even workshops.
Raghunath teaches, I teach, and we have a host of other excellent teachers on topics ranging from yoga philosophy, asana classes, storytelling, Ayurveda, kirtan, cooking, meditation, and a lot more.
We even have an incredible online Bhakti 12-step recovery group.
So if you want to check it out, go to patreon.com/wisdom of the sages.
All right, let's get it on.
Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Come on!
Live from beautiful Maharashtra at the Govardhan Eco Village, this is Wisdom of the Sages, a daily yoga podcast with your host Raghunath and co-host and senior educator at the Bhakti Center, New York, Kastuba Das. Welcome to the show, everybody. Jai Shri Ram. Everybody's very, very, very Ram conscious here.
Oh yeah,
They're all getting psyched.
The new song came out.
All of India
It's getting
is just
psyched.
like getting buzzed for this opening of the
Buzzed, you say.
Ram
Interesting.
Mandir. Oh no! Don't tell me we're gonna bring this back to Bob. Like,
Buzzed, you
because
said.
I said buzzed.
Okay.
Oh, Krishna. Anyway, things are looking good, and we're having a great time here.
Hold it. The Madhava's rock band came out with a new Ram song just for the occasion. It seems like that thing is a major production.
Madhava's rock band is doing what nobody could do. They're making it very, I feel like India, and Chaitanya, you can correct me if I'm wrong. It's like there's been this big push in India, like, oh, be American, be Western, wear Western clothes, wear Western perfume, act like Westerners, who needs all our old traditional customs? They have it right over there. Wrong. And Madhava's rock band is like, let me show you how it's done. And they did this new Ram video. It makes it so cool to wear a dhoti, to worship Lord Ra. It's like they're making
Do the
Ram
arti.
worship the coolest thing, doing art.
It was a real.
Cool.
It was.
Everything's cool.
It was like a real kind of masculine, feminine energy thing too.
Well,
First the guys came
First
out.
of all, they're all buff. And you know what? Yes.
Then the girls came out and they were like very beautifully worshiping Lord Ram with these big, massive lamps.
You can't. You got to talk. No one can hear except unless you talk in the mic. Say,
Come on over here.
you got to get over here.
Let's
You're
get the,
Chaitanya,
let's get the
you're
Indian
vocal. We want the Indian
Mumbai perspective. Yeah.
Of come right. Put your mouth right there.
Okay, yeah. So, about Madhava's rock band, they are doing some great stuff out there. Like even I saw some of the videos, but this new video that they have launched, they're like it's as close to any Bollywood song sort of a video. It's to that
Kind
level.
of like Super Bowl quality. Yeah.
It's like a Super Bowl commercial. Yeah, and it's like 20 minutes or something.
Yeah, it's a big thing.
Yeah,
It's
you know
major
what?
Production.
They win. If there is a it's not a competition, but if it is, they won.
Now, one thing we got to show we just got to show them.
Out of his rock
We
band.
just-
Show.
Hold it. We just got to show them Tara over here. Right?
Hail Caesar. This is Tara sitting on his his
That was
Don't
awesome.
mind him.
Okay.
Someone's got to rule the world. We're bringing back the emperors of India.
All right, let's get serious.
Yeah, let's get real serious.
We didn't chant Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, did we?
No. Do you have any other?
That means none of this is on the show. Oh, good. Okay.
Oh, we did that.
Okay. All right.
We didn't chant the Bhagavatam.
No, we're not there yet. Why don't we move on to the announcements?
Mara,
Marriage.
I want some newer announcements, though. We got the same old announcements.
We got to produce some new content.
The Sage group setups are starting soon, January 27th for
Okay,
the next
that's
round of
something.
Sage groups. You like that?
Yep.
So Begins at 9 a.m. for that Sage Group sign up Eastern time.
And there'll be
Operators are standing by.
And they're still back to recovery group meetings happening 12:30 and 1 o'clock Eastern time today. We have an asana class for our Patreon members at 10:30 with Josh Kane, Cult of Kane. And our weekend shows this weekend are going to be at the 6 a.m. Eastern time slot.
Okay. Thank you, Mara. Now we have the nugget. We're gonna move on to the nugget.
You got a nugget?
I
for me
do,
here?
and it's
Oh, it's by who's it by today? Let's see.
Robert Nesta Marley, otherwise known as
Who's
Bob
that?
Marley. We're all gonna. I'm gonna read you.
Trying to rub my face in this Bob.
No. I want to read stuff from him that's going to touch your heart,
Okay.
melt your heart, and make you a fan for life.
You know what? I think because everybody attacked me on the message board, now
You're defensive.
Now I'm digging my heels in.
No, but now I'm gonna break through that. What are you doing? You got
I'm
it?
looking for the.
I got it right here. You can read it right here.
Okay.
This is from Bob Marley. I thought this was a bit
Nugget.
profound.
If something can corrupt you, you're corrupted already. Bob Marley.
Think about that. Take it in.
If something can corrupt you, you're
Something
corrupted
can't
already.
corrupt you. You're corrupted
Well,
already.
doesn't that defeat our whole idea of bad association?
Oh, you
bad
see, now you
association?
try to turn it negative. No, my point is, if you're pure, nothing can corrupt you.
Well, that's true, but
Right.
who's pure?
So many people might be pure. I mean, by nature, the most of the beings out there are pure. It's just not in this world that we're living in. But the point is, you try to rid yourself of desires that are, let's say, incompatible with the nature of the self. Right?
Mhm.
If the nature of the self, by nature, we're loving, by nature, we're compassionate, by nature, we're generous, by nature, we're sensitive to others, then if you get there, nothing can corrupt you. If you deeply realize that my happiness is not tied to any external things, you're free. You can't be corrupt. But if you're not, it means you're already corrupted by false ideas of what I need to be happy, false ideas of who I am.
Yeah, if something can corrupt you, you're not a pure devotee, that's for sure.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, in other words, if someone can corrupt you, it means internally you're already corrupted by false ideas. I think he's on to something. Hand it to Bob. But if that didn't,
That's
okay,
it didn't move me. It
I'm
didn't move me.
going to move
because-
you. I'm going to
Okay,
move
What
you.
else you got? It looks like it's Bob. It looks like it's Bob Marley week here on Kostuva's computer.
There's so many things. There's so many things. I'll read you some lyrics. And when I was kind of getting into spirituality, it was like Bob Marley's kind of music and his lyrics. They were kind of like I feel they were kind of
Stepping stool.
stepping
stool. What? A stepping stool.
stool. Why would
A
you call it?
stool. For
Stepping
getting your mind out of-
stone.
A
It's stepping stone. It's not
What?
stepping stone.
I didn't mean. I mean like a step ladder. That's what I meant. A stepping stool. No one says stool except devotees anyway. Don't worry about it.
I'm going to read a lot from Bob Marley. This is a song. It's a famous lyric.
Right.
But to me, what he was singing, then I was hearing things that Prabhupada was saying, and it was just like they just were lining right up for me, you know.
Yeah, you know what's proud? I'm prejudiced because I was a
Straight edge. Yeah, you got to let that go.
We just like hated everything that wasn't.
He
straight.
smoked some pot. It's not
He
the
smoked a lot
biggest
of pot.
deal.
The whole culture.
But he
smoked
had
pot.
so many nice things to say.
You're right. You're right.
Okay,
I'm older now. I'm 58 years old. I can just open my
let it
mind a little
go.
bit.
Yeah,
Let
yeah.
it go.
Okay, so here we go. You may have heard this one. This is from famous song, Redemption Songs. Emancipate yourself from mental slavery. Isn't that what yoga is all about? Yes. Okay. Emancipate yourself from mental slavery. None but ourselves can free our minds. And then he says this, and this totally reminded me of Prabhupada. Maybe Tara kind of this resonates with. Have no fear for atomic energy, because none of them can stop the time. Which to me is a perfect kind of like example of Prabhupada said the exact same thing actually in interviews. Because this was written at a time where everyone was afraid that Russia was going to drop the bomb on us, and
Right.
and he's saying, actually, you know, there's if you zoom out,
There's forces greater.
there's forces far greater than us. And nowadays he might be accused of spiritually bypassing by saying such a thing, but
It's a big picture.
He's
view
saying,
of
take-
reality.
Exactly.
That there are so much forces out of our control, and we think we can control it by complaining or posting something on our thing or griping on it publicly. And we think we're doing a great effort. What we're really doing is we end up corrupting ourselves more, bringing our consciousness so low and so down, ruining our own life. The few things that we can protect are our own mind and our own thoughts, and we're letting those go and getting caught up in anxiety, fear, stress, completely polluting everybody around us, our children, anyone who looks up to us. Like, oh, that's the way mom's going to be today. All right, I guess
Yeah,
we should be in
disturbed,
fear and
angry, yeah.
disturbed, and
Yeah.
and hate.
Now you're getting the Bob Marley thing.
Yeah,
You're
I
starting to
think
get it.
maybe I am.
Okay, let me. This was
Get up, get up. Get up. Oh, you're right.
All
That
right.
song.
All right,
Is that a
good.
good one?
That's a good one. This one was from a song, So Much Trouble in the World.
Nice.
Hey, that's what.
Why? Right in my sugarcane juice.
Oh, he's grumpy.
I'm having a rough day.
He's
I just
grumpy.
wanted to say that.
Okay. A little hangry. Are you outside your 2 hour thing? You're allowed to drink juice.
I
Jordan.
can drink out my two.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just checking.
I have
No,
a 2 hour window where I can eat.
all right.
Okay. And the juice doesn't count.
Okay.
I'm out of my 2 hours.
Okay. Stay with me, Raghunath. This is Bob Marley's lyrics here. Bless my eyes this morning. He says, Jah's sun is on the rise once again. So the son of God,
It's on
right,
the rise.
is on the rise every morning. Again, that's kind of a zoom out, right? He's trying to say there's so many troubles, there's so many problems in the world, but at the same time, there's something bigger, there's something eternal behind it, there's something steady, there's something in control of far more powerful forces that we can feel grounded by always staying in touch with, by waking up and looking at the sun and feeling the connection with that, right? So bless my eyes this mornings. Jah's sun is on the rise once again. And then he brings it down to the earthly level, right? But the way things are going, anything can happen. And now this is pure Prabhupada right here, the way that I felt the connection. He says, they're sailing on their ego trips, blast off on their spaceships. And these are, right? I'm getting different lyrics here, but he says, what goes on up is coming on down, goes around and comes around.
It's right out of a Youth of Today song.
I think he wrote it before you did. But
I
you know,
could get into this Bob Marley.
You can.
No, it is. It's
here. This is just a quote from. I don't stand for black man's side. I don't stand for white man's side. I stand for God's side.
I like that a lot.
He says, long time you fight the
We're
rebel.
about to convert to Rastafarianism. That's your goal. But
He says,
Jai Haile Selassie.
he says, long time you fight revolution. And when you fight revolution, you use guns. You don't really want to talk about revolution until you have guns, right? So me don't want to ever talk about revolution because me no never want to get guns. Me make music. Music is the biggest gun.
Hit it, Bo.
He says, Bob Marley is not my name. I don't even know my name yet. Like this.
Yeah.
Okay. My temporary identity is not who I am. All right. This is
He might
something.
have been the most spiritual songwriter of all
Thank
time.
you. Thank you. It's starting to click. This is another quote about
I need to smoke.
no. Why do you keep coming back to that?
Well, I've never experimented with it really.
You don't need to, Raghunath. You can't. You've come to these realizations without it. But I'm just saying, you
I
don't
don't though.
don't. Now
It
hear this.
seems much deeper than
Now
me.
this is something that you've talked about on the show. He's just saying it in a different way.
Okay.
He says the biggest coward of a man is to awaken the love of a woman without the intention of loving her.
Ooh, I like that.
You like that? You see?
Awaken the love of a woman
Without the intention of loving.
women. I'm looking at a bunch of women here. What do you think about that?
I like that one.
Men are
Yes.
Men
Yes.
twisted
Yes.
like twisted demon beings. I apologize on behalf of men. They're horrible. They're
That's going to be tearing someone down today. Now it's men. All men except Bob Marley are bad.
men are really broken, aren't they?
Many men are broken. Yes. Okay. Life and Jah. right? Life and God are one and the same. Jah is the gift of existence. I am in some way eternal. I will never be duplicated. The singularity of every man and woman is Jah's gift. Or individual.
Thank you, John. I get that.
Thank you, Jah. Okay. Let's see. Oh, this is famous. What was this? Wake up and live. Life is one big road with lots of signs. Oh, no, this was is this wake up and live or is this yeah? Wake up and live.
Tara knows it all.
Tara
Oh,
knows.
yeah.
Tara was smoking a lot. Playing frisbee. Life is one big road with lots of signs. So when you're riding through the ruts, don't complicate your mind.
Mm-hmm.
Flee from hate, mischief, and jealousy.
That's like right out of Radha Swami's mouth.
Thank you. Don't bury your thoughts. Put your vision to reality. Wake up and live. So I'm just trying to say, Raghunath, open yourself up to Bob.
I'm completely open.
These are
right now.
these. In all honesty, it was at that stage in my life. By the way, you know, when all the guys that I hung out with, all the guys that you know of,
Yeah.
he was our number one guy. Like we weren't listening to hardcore punk rock nearly as much. If
Bob Marley.
the number one guy that we were listening to was Bob Marley constantly, yeah. And these were really kind of getting me thinking in a spiritual way. And when I read Prabhupada's books, I was like, oh, this is like the kind of stuff Bob Marley was saying.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Now it makes sense.
All right.
Now it makes
Any
sense.
last thing you'd like to share? Thoughts on Bob Marley?
I think I'm gonna have a listen. I'm gonna go
Oh,
through Spotify,
yeah,
listen to some Bob
okay.
Marley songs.
Maybe a little apology at this point.
Maybe. Maybe.
A little
Maybe
apology.
light up
No,
the room.
no.
I can read the lyrics.
Just a little apology. Bob and
Light
Bob
up some-
listeners, I was wrong. He was very good. It was his heart. He had a very nice heart, a beautiful heart. I could go on and on. Actually, there's a lot of beautiful
Was it the
sentiments.
conspiracy theory
He
that
had-
got killed by the CIA or something?
Well, he died of cancer.
Oh, really?
I can't speak to any.
Oh,
I can't speak about any conspiracy, but he died from cancer. The Rastas don't like to have surgery.
oh,
Yeah,
interesting.
yeah.
Interesting.
All right. Thank you, Bob Marley.
You know, I think if I would have got into it, I might have ended up a Rasta, and maybe none of you guys would have been here. I would have been like, yes.
Oh, you heard all the
Rastas
right now.
And you know, I tend to be very obsessive. I was thinking, I told Mary yesterday, I was like, thank God I didn't get into drugs.
Because you would have really
I
gotten
would
into
have been
drugs.
rolling around the streets right now, if not dead. I'm just obsessive with things.
Okay, let's get obsessed with the Bhagavatam.
Get obsessed with things that lift you up, not take you down. How
Thank
about
you.
that?
There you go.
Raghunath Das.
All right. Ja.
Did I say Chai Rastafari?
Ja.
Ja.
Not Chai.
I was like,
Chai.
it sounds like Chai. Chai Rastafari. What does Rastafari mean?
It's referring to Haile Selassie. Rastafari.
Rasta.
Rastafari. Yeah. No, I mean that's kind of. I think that's a bit of a stretch, but there's certainly connections. And I mean, from our perspective, if you look at Rastafarians, there seems to be a clear connection between them and Shaivites. I mean, you know, a lot of their habits, their looks, their style, the whole thing is very similar. All right, let's move on. Ready?
Narayanam Namaskritya
Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Mudirayat.
Before reciting the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is our very means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisances to the Supreme Lord, Narayan. Unto Narayan Rishi, the supermost human being, Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and Srila Vyasadeva, the author.
Nasta Prayesha Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavat Sevya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki.
By regular attendance in classes in the Bhagavatam and by rendering service to the pure devotee, all that is troublesome to the heart will become eradicated, and loving service to the Supreme Lord, who is praised with transcendental songs, will be established as an irrevocable fact.
Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shlakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha.
I was born in the darkness of ignorance, and my teachers are opening my eyes with the torchlight of knowledge. I offer my obeisances at their lotus feet.
Okay.
Reading from the Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 7,
What's the text?
Chapter 1, text
22. Shukadev Goswami is going to speak.
Yeah. Here we go. Sukadeva Goswami. After hearing the request of Maharaj Yudhisthira, Narada Muni, the most powerful spiritual master who knew everything, was very pleased. Thus he replied in the presence of everyone taking part in the yajna.
Okay, so the ritual is going on. Yudhishthira just witnessed Shishupal's head sliced off instantly,
Cut right off.
effortlessly by Lord Vishnu's Sudarshana Chakra, the disc weapon, after he was ranting on in demonic ways.
100 insults.
Yeah.
Actually, more than 100.
Okay. But a large part of the reason why Krishna descended was to rid the earth of the burden of such horrible rulers. And so Krishna waited for the right time. But then he witnessed this very unusual happening. What was it?
The soul of Shishupal is sort of like electrically, you could see it. It was visible to the eye, went out of the body when it died, and it got sucked right into Krishna's feet.
I wonder how fast it was. It was probably like really fast.
Or slow motion. Like
Think it was slow? That would be weird if it was slow. Like it was just going like, what's going on?
Yeah.
I think it was fast, but that's my guess. I don't know.
Yeah, we don't know. We
don't know.
witnessing that.
Speed wasn't
We're both
mentioned.
speculating.
Yeah, totally. Okay. But so Yudhishthira, right at that moment, right in that assembly, he just started taking the counsel of Narada. Narada, could you answer this question? What did we just see? That this was a downright dirty demon.
Mara, could you Google up what were Shishupal's crimes? Because Krishna listed a bunch of crimes that he did. I'm curious.
Okay, the crimes of
I got one for you. Do you know what Jarasandha used to do? What made one of the things that made him so evil?
did he throw all the kings in the
He collected kings.
yeah.
He'd defeat the armies, collect the kings, keep them alive in a dungeon, and then offer them to Kalabhairava.
Oh, and they took all their wives. Is that what he was doing or something like that?
I'm not sure about that.
He was really
Probably
he was a horrible demon.
Horrible demon.
Yeah.
He was a king. We call him a demon, but demon we just mean.
Well, he was a
not
demon
like
playing the
horns,
role of a
but-
king.
Yeah.
Okay. So in any case, Yudhishthira is saying, Dantavakra is just evil to the core and all his behavior and everything they had to say. And then he got killed. And then we saw his soul. You would think it'd be like going down to
Shishupal.
darker, I'm sorry, Shishupal. You'd think it'd be going down to the darker regions. You'd think it was like descending. It went into the body of Krishna.
His point being that
The yogis struggled.
We were
for-
saying yogis struggled for that. It seems like God is playing favorites with the demigods, but here it's saying, no, this evil king who's criticizing Krishna himself, he gave him liberation. It seemed like a good ending.
So why?
What's going on here?
How can you be like so demonic and then get the result that like a great yogi achieves?
All right, text 23. The great sage Narada Ji said, okay, blasphemy and praise, chastisement and respect are experienced because of ignorance.
Okay.
The body of the conditioned soul is planned by the Lord for suffering in the material world through the agency of the external energy.
What does external energy mean?
Just the world around you.
Okay,
The
but
body of the conditioned soul.
Hold on, whoa,
That's,
whoa, whoa.
Our body
no, don't
is
put.
planned
Did you
by
move
the
on?
Lord
What are you
for
reading?
suffering in the material world.
Where are you going?
23.
No, let's stay with the verse that we're on. That is the verse we're on. You just read 23, right?
Yeah.
You reading the verse
Are you
again?
correcting me?
Are you reading the verse again?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead, read it again.
I just read it again.
You read part of it again. But my point was, I wanted to get into this verse. I thought you had moved on.
It's so much like you. I did it
Okay.
without you saying it.
Thank you. Excellent. Then read the commentary. Have you read that yet?
Don't be watching, especially on my hard day.
What's so bad? I'm here for you, Ron. Come on. We're reading Bob Marley songs. Everything's okay. Everything's all right. You got sugar cane
Don't you
juice.
worry about
There you go.
The Supreme Lord is situated in
Hold it.
everyone's-
Read the verse first.
Okay, it's quoting the Bhagavad Gita from the 18th chapter. Ishvara Sarvabhutanam
Hridaya Arjuna Tishtati Brahmayan Sarva Bhutani Yantararudhani Mayaya.
The Supreme Lord is situated in everyone's heart, O Arjuna, and is directing the wanderings of all living entities who are seated as on a machine made up of material nature energy. It's great line, isn't it? We're seated on a machine made of matter.
That's the body.
A material body is manufactured by the external energy according to the direction of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The conditioned soul, being seated on this machine, wanders throughout the universe, and because of his bodily conception of life, he only suffers. Well, that seems like a negative Nelly.
First of all, the way that he uses only there, I wonder if he's using it like an Indian person or like an English person, you know, like in other words, Indians always use the word only in an unusual way, don't they? They drop only at the end of the sentence. Yeah.
Only.
Yeah. But we never use it that way.
Only.
So they'll say like, oh, I've been here for 1 hour only or something like that. Like we'll say, I've only been there for an hour.
How much is it? $5 only.
Yeah. Yeah. So here is the question, is he saying that all we do is suffer, or they're saying that only because of the bodily conception do we suffer? I think that's what it's saying, right? The conditioned soul being seated on this machine wanders throughout the universe, and because of his bodily conception of life only, he suffers like that.
Yeah.
But it could be the other way. It could be he only suffers because you could,
In the absolute sense of the word. It's
Yes.
Like, yeah, I've squeaked a little enjoyment out of this body.
yeah.
But it's designed to give pain.
You just like,
The analogy is this. Here's a finger. Here's a hand. How much pleasure can I give this hand? I can rub it with a feather. I can kiss it. I can put some hand cream on it. You know, how much pleasure can I actually give a hand?
not too much.
Now, let me ask you another question.
Nope.
How much pain can I give this hand?
A lot.
Oh man, I could bite it. I could chew it. I could run it over with a truck. I could hit it with a hammer.
Get
I
it
could
caught
hit
in
with a
some kind
shovel,
of
get it caught in the
grinder,
door,
drill.
burn it. I can put a drill through it, sawzall. Thinking of all my toolkits.
What about just like holding an
Screwdriver.
M80 and
Holding it heavy, holding a thing of ice for too long. So many. You got fingernails. Don't let me get started with fingernails.
pull them
The
out?
pain you can get with
Twist 'em.
those.
Yeah.
Right. So it's so much easier to get more pain out of the body. Let's face it. Time is running short. The window of pleasure is closing. My mother's one of the few people who's 97 years old and says, I have no aches and pains. I was like, what have you done? I've got aches and pains. I'm like 58.
She wasn't jumping off stages for her whole
she
youth.
jumped off stages, jiu-jitsu.
But you know, another way to say it is just like if we talk about prisoners like in a prison, right? We think of it that there's nothing but suffering going on there. You know,
And
they're trying to squeeze out some enjoyment, and then they might think, oh, today was a good day.
Yeah, we play basketball.
But for us,
an hour and 10
no,
minutes.
that day was nothing but suffering. You
Yeah.
know? Yeah,
You
you're
have a
in
bunch of
jail.
murderers. You're playing basketball with a bunch of murderers.
Yeah, right.
Forgive me if you're in prison. Listen to this,
Or a
because-
murderer.
Or a murderer.
We love you. You're okay with us. Okay, let's continue with the
Like, get out of
conversation.
here. I'm gonna get that stupid.
Crazy Joe Davola. Okay. Actually, the suffering.
Actually, the suffering of being blasphemed.
And the enjoyment, because this was the
Actually,
topic.
the
right?
suffering of being blasphemed and the enjoyment of being praised, the acceptance of good, welcome, or chastisement by harsh words are felt in the material world, in the material conception of life. But since the body of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is not material, but Satchidananda Vigraha, he is unaffected by the insults or the greetings, blasphemy or prayers.
So everything that Shishapal was throwing at Krishna, it didn't touch him at all. He didn't even kill him because of that. You know, he killed him because he was this horrible demon that was like a burden to the earth. And because he wanted to liberate him, because he was ultimately his devotee in the long run, going back many lifetimes. Right. So it's not that Krishna was responding to the Krishna. You can't insult Krishna like that. You can't insult anyone that's not on the bodily conception. It's just like if I was to start saying all kind of insulting things about your body, if you're not identifying with the body, it just doesn't matter. Like say I pull up in a car that I borrowed from someone and the car is like a real wreck, and someone just starts to insult the car. Man, that is the stupidest looking car I've ever seen. They're going on and on. They think they're affecting me.
Right.
but it's not even my car. Go ahead,
Right.
say whatever you want. You know, it's
Right.
like, I don't identify with it. It's not even mine. And so similarly, when someone's off that bodily concept, they're really not prone to whether it's praise or whether it's blasphemy. They're beyond it. Then they can have that samatvam, that even mind. Their knowledge frees them from the burden
Mm,
of being prone or vulnerable
mm,
to feeling pain due to those kind of insults.
I get it.
Okay, so he's saying, so what to speak of Krishna, who's like way beyond all that? Please continue.
Thing disappeared. Being always unaffected. And
But was it here? But since the body, maybe you read that.
he is unaffected by the insults and the greetings. Yeah. Being always unaffected and complete. He does not feel extra
Complete.
pleasure when offered nice prayers by the devotee.
Mhm.
He doesn't feel it, huh?
No, not extra pleasure. He's just always in pleasure.
Although the devotee benefits by offering prayers to the Lord, indeed, the Lord is very kind to his so-called enemy, because one who always thinks of the personality of Godhead as an enemy also benefits.
Hmm.
Although he
Okay,
thinks of the Lord adversely.
Yeah.
Go figure.
Right. So again, that's where we were starting yesterday, right? Was that Krishna himself, he is this beautiful manifestation of the internal energy, the original manifestation of the internal energy. And just simply the act of thinking of him, remembering him, connects us with that energy and purifies us.
Mm-hmm.
So even if you're thinking of him with hatred, you're still connecting to that energy.
Mm.
And that's what happened with Shishapal. Because not only was he thinking of him, he was absorbed in him. He was deeply absorbed in that energy, right? And so through that, you get the blessing just by that meditation.
If the conditioned soul, thinking of the Lord as an enemy or a friend, somehow or other becomes attached to the Lord, he receives great benefit.
Okay, so Prabhupada's answering the question before Narada's answered the question. But let's see what Narada goes on to say. Did you have some information there, Mary? Okay. Next.
What we got? Yeah. Text 20. What text we on?
I think 25, right?
24.
24.
Thank you. My dear king, the conditioned soul, being in the bodily conception of life, considers his body to be his self, and considers everything in relationship with the body to be his. Get off my phone. Get off my chair. Get off my head. Right? Get on my refrigerator. Close the refrigerator. Because he has this wrong conception of life, he is subjected to the dualities like praise and chastisement.
Here's a nice little commentary on that. Right here.
There's a nice commentary on that. Only when a conditioned soul accepts the body as himself does he feel the effects of chastisement and praise.
This
When
is
he
the answer to all the
determines-
bodily positivity stuff, you know, like, yes, we should try to be healthy as far as possible, but we all could suffer due to the conception of our body. Just if our mind is there, sometimes people are like totally attractive and they think, oh, I'm too skinny or I'm too fat.
I'm too skinny.
Yeah. It's just like, it's really just about elevating your identification beyond the body. That's the ultimate answer to it all, right?
Yeah, like when the yoga when the guy told me I was a little fat to do yoga.
Who told you that?
You know, this
Who told you that?
There's this guy from Bombay that likes friends of mine.
Oh,
Came to the
okay.
temple-
I
came to the
that
temple.
long. I know.
I was a little overweight. A little overweight that year,
Mhm.
and I own that.
Okay.
Not my usual. And he came to the temple, and with this old man, this yogi, and he said, "Raghunath, how are you? Guess what? Because of you, I started taking up yoga." And I was like, "Oh, cool." He goes, and then he stopped and he looked at me. He goes, "Raghu, you got so fat." And I was like, yeah, I know. I think people do that in India.
India
Right?
saying fat is
It's
not
not a
so
bad thing, but that's how you
Yeah,
greet
they-
people.
yeah.
Chaitanya says, "Well, that was a
You're
wonderful
looking
greeting."
fat.
He goes, "You get
Like America, they're gonna get killed for that.
You get killed for that.
Or
You get
they'll kill
shot for that,
themselves.
yeah."
Yeah.
Well, and I said, and he said, looked at me and goes, "Can you still do yoga as fat as you are?" And the yoga teacher, the old man yoga teacher interrupts and goes, "Yes, even as fat as he is, he can still do yoga."
Thank you.
I was like, I'm gonna get back to bed. It's gonna be one of those days.
All right. All right. Continue.
Krishna.
Read the whole thing.
I'm on the bodily conception, I guess.
No, you're doing good, Raghunath. Come on. Come on, Baba Ganoush. Read the whole thing.
Only when a conditioned soul accepts the body as himself does he feel the effects of chastisement or praise. Then he determines one person to be his enemy and another his friend, and wants to chastise the enemy and welcome the friend. This creation of friends and enemy is a result of one's bodily conception of all our life. Every problem we have in the world, practically speaking, is a result of our bodily conception. I can think of 1,000 issues I have that are just due to my bodily conception of life.
Let's go. One.
Number one, I'm getting a waddle. I'm not the body. Don't sweat it. I'm getting hair on the back of my arms and it's driving me insane. Don't worry. I'm not the body. I lost all my hair. It drives me crazy. Every time I look in the mirror and my hair, my shaved head grows out just a little bit, it's like obvious that I have male pattern balding and it drives me crazy. It makes me want to shave it again.
No problem.
No problem. I'm not the body. I've been looking at my nose in the mirror a lot lately and it looks like there's thousands of little dots all over it.
They don't all of them. Granted, we're going through 1,000, so a lot of them are going to be very superficial.
They're all superficial.
Well, but in what I'm saying, deeper things like how I feel about myself, my identity, and things like that, or how I view other people, other souls, or how I judge other people, and things like that. Or
Yeah, of course. Our deepest problems.
they're not all about like nose hair. And
Well, I'm explaining my issues.
I got you.
I got 1,000
I guess
issues,
so.
and they all have to
Right.
do with me thinking I'm the body.
Okay.
I'm 58 years old. I'm worried about the doctor said an inflated heart. I'm once I got to go get an MRI for my heart, and I'm like, I'm worried about it. Why? I'm not the body.
Okay.
I can't die.
There you go.
Okay, so I'm just saying.
You solved it.
Solved all my problems right now. One episode.
Text 25. See if we can solve some more.
Okay, I've solved my problems now for the world's ready. Now, because the bodily conception of life, the conditioned soul thinks that when the body is annihilated, the living being is annihilated. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
My body's going to be annihilated,
There's a logic to it.
and I'm going to be quite fine about it. Imagine if it's just like you were to cut off my head. It's just imagine if you were to cut off my head and like nothing happens. Like I'm just still aware of all of you guys. I was like, you guys don't see me, but I see you. Is that probably what happens? Like you cut it and you're still
Or you're looking
there?
through the head.
No. No, I'm saying, suppose I'm dead. The
You're
head gets
dead.
cut off,
Yeah.
and I think I've killed myself, but
Yeah.
actually I'm completely aware of everything.
Yeah, but are you aware through this body? Are you aware through the head? Or are you aware somewhere beyond it all?
I don't know.
Okay.
I'm just saying, wouldn't that be interesting that you think you're going to die, but you're just you
You're
didn't
still
nothing
aware.
happened.
Yeah. Text 25, please.
Text 25. Because the
Oh, you
bodily
read the first
conception of life,
sentence.
the conditioned soul thinks that when the body is annihilated, the living being is annihilated. Lord Vishnu, the supreme personality of Godhead, is the supreme controller, the super soul of all living entities. Because he has no material body, he has no false conception of I am, I and mine. It is therefore incorrect to think that he feels pleasure or pain when blasphemed or offered prayers. This is impossible for him. Thus, he has no enemy and no friend. When he chastises the demons, it is for their good. And when he accepts the prayers of the devotees, it is for their good. He is affected neither by prayers nor blasphemy.
Okay. He's
Sure.
beyond it all.
Therefore, by enmity or by bhakti, by fear, by affection, or by lusty desire, by all of these, or any one of them, if a conditioned soul somehow or other concentrates his mind upon the Lord, the result is the same. For the Lord, because of his blissful position, is never affected by enmity or friendship,
Okay.
by lusty desires for Krishna.
Kubja.
Kubja.
Yeah.
Who is Kubja, Mara? Quick.
The hunchback.
The hunchback. Good
Yeah.
job.
Nice. Hunchback woman that was attracted to Krishna.
Yeah.
And Krishna just kind of unhunchbacked
He
her.
stepped on her toe, lifted her by the chin, and she became quite beautiful.
You can do that.
And she regularly had affairs with Krishna.
I really had a
I just read this. Where was I reading that, Mara?
Garga Samhita, maybe?
No. We're reading. You just read that. Oh, the stories in, it was in the
comic
forums.
book.
No.
Oh.
No, not the comic books, Kostuba. I read other books besides comic books.
All right. Now, this is going to get really interesting. 2 verses from now, Ragnar.
What number are we on?
27.
20. Narada Muni continued. Hey, Chaitanya, what do you think this is? The Chaitanya show here? Go.
A question. Okay, a question.
Come up front. Alex, get up here. There's a question here in the studio audience.
I have a question about why Krishna made the hunchback woman beautiful if we are more than our bodies.
Oh, found the speaker, huh? She's I think it was a body that was well, not really.
It's like an I Love Lucy.
I think she was giving a body that enabled her to please Krishna. That she felt, this is the body I want to offer to Krishna. And then she was granted that body. How's that?
Okay.
Yeah.
She's beautiful inside, but outside not so much.
Okay.
Maybe that's what that meant.
Okay, Ragnar.
Don't worry, we're not the body.
Text 28. Do we read 27? 27. 27 over here. You're like, I don't see it on that.
Look at my face. Where is it?
Okay, 27.
Narada Muni continued. By bhakti, one cannot achieve such intense absorption in thought of the Supreme Personality of Godhead as one can through enmity. Isn't that an amazing
That's an
statement?
amazing statement.
Through bhakti, you can't.
He just hated him so much.
That it was almost too. The meditation was so strong.
I mean, I
By
wonder if that's
devotional service, one cannot achieve such intense absorption in thought of the Supreme Personality of Godhead as one can through hatred. That's
it's
my opinion. That is what. Why do you keep moving this? I'm trying to read it.
okay. Go ahead.
That's what Narada Muni just said.
Are you gonna read it?
I just did.
Well, then why did it
read it
matter
back
if I
into-
moved
Dude,
it?
I couldn't remember who said it.
Okay.
Okay.
I mean, it almost sounds like that statement is, I don't know, maybe not meant to be taken completely literally,
Maybe.
doesn't it? Because like the deepest devotees would have the strongest meditations on Krishna, wouldn't you think?
Yeah. Or just like that. Maybe it wants to illustrate a point that hatred is so darn powerful.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Now this text is fascinating.
Shriman.
Oh, it's 2 texts together, 28 and 29.
I need a pre-name. I need to be like Shriman Raghunath Das.
Oh, you want us to honor you more?
Is that what it is? An honor?
Yeah.
It's sort of like a pre-name. Sure. I guess that is sort of like an honorific name, right? Shriman.
Yes, that's exactly what it is. All right. Text
Well, you
28,
can call me
29.
Shriman. I'll call you Shriman.
It's not necessary, but I'll call it you if you want. Okay, Sriman Raghunath, please read the next 2 verses.
A grassworm. What is a grassworm?
I don't know, but some worm that crawls around the grass, I assume.
A grassworm confined in a hole of a wall by a bee. What?
No, imagine you're a worm and there's a hole in the wall and there's a bee outside that can't fit in that hole. So you're in that hole and the bee's right there and you're like, oh my God, there's that terrifying bee. So your mind is like completely caught up in the bee. And then the bee's like getting in the hole,
Okay.
coming in
Now
after
I
you.
understand the analogy. As a grassworm confined in a hole of a wall by a bee, always thinks of the bee in fear and enmity, and later becomes a bee, simply because of such remembrance. He does?
Apparently, yes.
Okay. Similarly, if the conditioned souls somehow or other think of Krishna, who is Satchidananda Vigraha, they will become free from their sins, whether thinking of him as their worshipable Lord or an enemy. because of constantly thinking of him, they will regain their spiritual bodies. You ever wonder if these guys are like anti-cult people? Oh, Krishnas, I hate those Hare Krishnas, those Krishna guys. They probably are getting purified by, you think?
Absolutely. This seems to be what it's saying here.
Because Krishna, those Krishnas, crazy Krishnas.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, it seems like it's a strong possibility. But this is just saying that it's saying that the meditation of the worm is just imagine if you were so small. The bee would be so big. Like
Yeah.
bees scare people like big humans. Little bees
bees.
scare big humans. What to speak of your little worm?
Imagine a giant bee. Like if you're a worm, the size, what would it, how big would that be?
It
Bee
would
bee.
It'd be really big. And
Yeah.
and you're
They have a
trapped.
giant
Bee?
poker. They have a
Stinger.
giant stinger.
Yes.
Imagine what that would be for your body.
And imagine how terrifying that bee. Like you ever
It would
see
just
close?
go right through your body, that stinger.
You ever see the close-ups of insects? Just like how terrifying they look.
They're hideous, like monstrous.
Don't be on the bodily platform, okay?
Oh, their body is monstrous. Their soul is quite beautiful, but
Okay.
I mean, that stinger would puncture through your entire being.
Yeah, so you're terrified. You're absolutely terrified, and you're stuck in that hole. You got no escape.
Just looking at it with those crazy bee eyes.
So now you're focused on that bee in a state of yogic trance practically, but through fear.
Yeah. Yes.
So it's saying that if in any way that our mind goes to Krishna, if it goes there with that kind of intensity, you achieve liberation.
Mhm.
But I think even that this verse is quoted in terms of meditating, because it's said at the end, whether thinking of him as their worshipable Lord or as an enemy, because of constantly thinking of him, they will regain their spiritual bodies. And that's what gets really to the heart of the practice of bhakti, is that whether it's through song, whether it's through drama, whether it's through ritual, whether it's through service,
Dance.
I'm sorry,
Dance.
dance, any type of cultural art, any
Music.
kind of ritual, practices of meditation, in any way that you bring your mind to Krishna with an intensity, there's so many ways that the mind can be drawn to Krishna. And what to speak of, it's not drawn with fear, or it's not drawn by hatred, but if it's drawn by affection, by love, then through that, the power of that meditation, just like that worm becomes a bee, we regain our spiritual body. That's how you regain your spiritual body, through that kind of focused yogic, through that yogic focus. But the bhakti meditation is so advantageous because it gives you all of those ways, all of those outlets to draw the mind. Whereas to sit alone and try to meditate on nothing would be so difficult. Right?
No, that's why deity worship is so cool.
Totally.
You know, I was having this talk with today.
Who?
Jen Bear.
Okay.
Jen Bear, who sort of came into this training like, wait a second, you guys are a bunch of Hare Krishnas? It was like, and Bobby was like, didn't I tell you that? And she's like, I thought I told you. She's like, you didn't tell me. She's like, I thought I sort of hinted at it, didn't I? She goes, not at all. But she makes jewelry, and she makes like crowns, I think.
Like tiaras and stuff.
Tiaras and stuff like that.
Wedding
And I
headwear.
was just like, maybe your gig is dressing deity. She's like,
I could get into that.
she was like, yeah. I was like, because there's something like after you get over the fact that I'm dressing this deity, like, because that can sound very, very foreign to people. Like I'm going to dress up a statue. But when you actually, this is the form of the Lord. It's such a powerful meditational practice. It's like, I think it's maybe innate in all beings to want to dress up a doll or take care of things, or so you get to like put your mind into the mind of the object that you're worshiping.
Yeah.
You know, like you worship a dog. Some people dress up a dog. You hold them, you put this blanket around you. If you have a child with the deity, same things. Like you start to think, oh, Krishna, it's cold today. Maybe you should wear a chadar. What type of flute do you want to play today, Krishna? Look at all the different flutes we have. Oh, you want a Venu, you want a Vamsi, you want a, right? And then we think, what kind of mukut do you want today, Krishna? You want a different special crown? Yeah, you want the big one, you want the silver one, you want the one with the big jewel in the front. Look at all the peacock feathers we have. We have the one with the 3 feathers, the single feather one today. And this whole idea, you're putting yourself in like Krishna is your friend, your lover, your child, and in taking care of that form of Krishna, I don't know how it works, impeccably designed by somebody. You fall in love with Krishna. It's designed to make you fall in love with Krishna by these simple things. And then there's all these festivals that I was trying to tell her today. I was like, yeah, in Vrindavan, it has a sunken courtyard, a marble sunken courtyard. So they fill it with water and take Krishna and put Krishna on. They fill it, the whole thing with flowers floating on the water.
Make
They
designs with those flowers.
put Krishna on a little boat, and you get to pull Krishna
Riding
around
Krishna.
it, riding Krishna on a little boat. I was like, who can
With
make this
kirtan,
up?
with beautiful music
There's
going
kirtan
on.
going on. Then there's the swing season where you put the deities on a swing and you swing them back and forth. It's almost like a child's game, but you're falling in love with Krishna. All these things are designed to make you fall in love, and it works, right?
It does.
It makes you fall in love with Krishna.
And it's saying, so through that kind of meditation, one regains their spiritual body, their eternal body.
Mm, mm.
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 Mm. Anything else you want to share?
I'm just thinking about it. It's who could think this is a genius thing we got going here.
It's great stuff. It's all laid out.
It's all laid out today. You guys, because Radha Swami's giving class after this. If you're to dress up or if you put on your tea lockers, do it not so you'll look good. Do it so that you'll look good for Krishna.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Even getting
if I'm
dressed.
looking good just because I want to look good, that's my ego. But if I want to look good because I want Krishna to see, I want to walk in front of Krishna. I want him to see me.
Like when you put on that yellow outfit, is that
What
what you're thinking?
Krishna,
There you go.
see, back off my face, man.
I'm not on your case. I'm
okay.
appreciating.
I think Krishna will like it.
Krishna
wears
likes the
yellow.
Tweety Bird
Well, Krishna
outfit.
wears yellow.
Just
You
kidding.
call him Krishna Tweety Bird?
No.
Krishna's Pitambar. He wears yellow outfits.
It does.
You know?
No.
So Krishna looks at him. Oh,
I think it's like, oh, cool.
Me
He's dressed up for me. Yeah. Me too.
me too. I wear yellow too.
Nice.
Is it time?
It's
What
time.
is it time? Is
Yeah, that's the sign. Let's move
I'm
this
gonna
over.
have to jog over to Radha Swami's cabin.
Okay, Mayor, let's get her. What you got?
If you want to become dear to me, give me sugarcane juice. That's all I'm gonna say.
All right.
That's all I'm gonna say.
so much sugarcane juice.
I know,
and
I'm
You're
gonna-
not going to be able to drink it.
Yeah.
you're right.
You can't have more than one
Okay.
sugarcane juice.
There you go. Little motherly love from Maren over there. One sugarcane juice a day.
You just can't get it in the
Mm.
States. It's just hard to get. Maybe in Florida,
You can get him.
something like that. Okay, cool.
Okay. Yeah.
Can I have it?
Oh yeah. Microphone.
If you're pure, nothing can corrupt you.
That's right.
Rid yourself of desires that are incompatible with the nature of the self.
Mm-hmm.
Rid them out.
Bob Marley had the big picture view of reality.
Yes, Raghunath. Yes.
Yes, he did.
Thank you.
Now,
Any apologies you want to make just before we sign off? Just a little.
Well, you can't force an apology.
No.
Let it
I'm
come-
asking.
Let it come. Let it come organically, Kostuba.
Okay.
Okay.
Is it? Is
It'll
it?
happen
How
when
about
it's
now?
ready. It's like
Are you ready now?
forcing a woman to give birth. It's
Okay.
inappropriate.
I'm sorry. Exactly like that. You're right.
Isn't it like that? Ladies, come on. Is it?
It's of the same opinion still. There you go. Yeah.
knowledge frees you from the burden of being pained by insults.
Nice. You like that one, Raghunath?
I do.
Our issues all come from our bodily conceptions.
1,000 of them.
All of them.
Bhagavatam solves all of our problems.
Sure does.
Boom. They're done.
Enmity is a powerful meditation.
It seems like I've read the Bhagavatam enough to have no problems. Why do I still have problems?
You got to keep reading it.
Is that it? It's just not sticking?
Yeah.
Is it like
We're
know.
we're only up to Canto 7 right now.
when I finish it, should all my problems be gone?
I
That's
think-
what I want. I want to guarantee
I think
Vyasadeva.
they will be.
Really?
There you have it.
I have
Bring your mind to Krishna through song, ritual, music, or meditation,
or
Deity worship.
deity worship.
or deities. And get obsessed with things that lift you up. Ja Rastafari.
Ah, Jah Rastafari.
Jai Rastafari.
Jah-
Yeah, let's just change it to Jai Rastafari. Can I be in the picture? Sorry. I'm having a rough
He
day.
is grumpy today. Grumpy.
Well, the good thing about
What's
being
so rough?
grumpy is a lot of times I have great days. That's the great thing about not being even.
Does this have anything to do with the 2-hour window thing?
No.
Is it because you ate pizza during the 2-hour? You did it anyway.
I did it. I appreciated it. Someone bought it for me. Wow.
But
Give me what I needed.
it's okay.
Big more on top of that.
Okay, Baba Ganoush. Baba Ganoush. It's all right. Feel a little better? Not really?
I gotta go though. Thank you, everybody. See you tonight
Oh,
at
he's
the,
taking off.
Flower Festival. It's a beautiful day. No, not flower. There's another flower festival. Well, it's happening live. Flower festival for each of you.
All right.
Beautiful day for a beautiful day. Well, magic is flowing. Hey, check in at 7 p.m. tonight for Raghunath Yogi Instagram Live satsang. I vote.